Have you self-selected yourself for the upcoming military draft? Just watching some Ron Paul earlier. He's got a phenomenal YouTube show. Still at it. What an unbelievable hero this country has that it pretty much won't recognize. And he talked about the military spending this past week. The people like Bernie Sanders who are saying, well, we don't want military spending. I believe he did vote against it, but he wouldn't vote for the amendment that would audit where the money for Ukraine was going, or the cash for Ukraine was going. So a lot of weird stuff going on there. But some people like Markey, Rand Paul, Mike Lee not voting for it. 11 people who did not vote for it. J.D. Vance, or some of the Republicans. I believe Bernie did not. And then there's a few Democrats that did not as well. And there's a draft they want to possibly come up with. And it would just be, I believe, from some of the people that have self-selected, which is probably a lot of people, because when you're 18 and as a male, I did when I was 18, unfortunately, not knowing any different at the time, but self-selecting, saying, yeah, I'm here, I'm available, registering for the draft. Or does the government not know that you're there? You have a Social Security number assigned to you at birth, literally. I have 4 children, all within 24 hours. They're given Social Security numbers, and now knowing differently, just very, very weird, very awkward. And that's your debt number. You're being assigned like cattle, and that's how you are assigned your national debt, because it's a debt-based system. Social Security is a debt system, and that's how you're assigned it. And you are a number, you're not life. Who owns your life? They assign you debt, so they enslave you. 2 forms of enslavement: taxation and the debt, the inflation of the debt through the debt. And then through this mechanism they call the draft, the military, where they own your life. And they're like, well, we're gonna send you to battle. We don't know what it's for, and you don't know what it's for, but you're going to battle. You gotta enrich us and our buddies. That's the world we live in. And so they have this thing they're talking about instituting again, because they have a problem recruiting right now. You don't think the young people trust in the military and the leadership we have in government? What's going on right now? These endless, fruitless wars going on in far off distant lands that no one has any idea what's going on. We know now the horrors of war over the last 100 years and what it does. And so people are like, I've had it, I'm done. What are we doing here? And I just was being interviewed by Opti of Simply Bitcoin earlier, and we talked about this a little bit. We talked about this very concept, and it's one of the scariest things, quite honestly, going on right now. And it's the crumbling of the military-industrial complex, the crumbling of the censorship state complex. It's a crumbling of a lot of the legacy systems we see, the American dollar, the American empire, and really all the systems we see, the centralized systems around the world. We see the European Central Bank, all these central banks, they are crumbling. They are crumbling in real time, and it takes a while for some of these things to crumble. So they've hit an iceberg, they've struck an iceberg. 2008 was really probably one of the iceberg in a way. They were loaded down with all this debt. So we're going to say there's a huge ship, a cargo ship loaded down with debt, 1913. So they started getting loaded down more and more and more, loading it with more debt, more chaos, more ridiculousness, and printing more currency, in essence, loading this ship down more and more and more. Then it struck an iceberg, and the iceberg was 2008. And then they started trying to bail it out with water, trying to do the bailouts, printing currency and bailing it out. And they got buckets. And they've done a pretty good job for a while, but now it's coming to a head. This ship is now listing badly, and it's going down. And for most people, unfortunately, because they told you the ship was unsinkable, it's hard to see. For forever, they told you that the ship was unsinkable and the American dollar can never fall. And are you kidding me? It's 2001. How this could never happen? It's a civilized world. It's 2015. What do you mean? This is a civilized world. How could this happen? It's 2020. What do you mean? Lockdowns, boom. They dropped the hammer on you, right? They passed Obamacare, ram it through, socialize the country, socialize medicine. They do these things one after another. The Patriot Act, ram it down your throat. Fear, fear, fear. Lockdowns 2020. Fear, 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 fear. Just keep you so fearful that you have no idea what's going on. And this is where we've ended up, where we're going to go back because no one trusts your institutions. I believe it's the Bubba effect, where you don't trust any of the institutions, and now you don't even trust the military. You don't trust the police. You don't trust the military, a lot of the country, and they're just out there. No one trusts. I mean, there's half the country doesn't trust the police and military. There's other half that doesn't trust the politicians or the government that's in place, and there's another section that doesn't trust the banking system or the money or none of it. It's a mess. It's a complete mess, and it's because of the destruction of God, the generational family, the nuclear family, and the destruction of money. Those, you can circle everything back. Everything always comes back to those core things. That's really all there is to it. I've tried this exercise many times to see what else does it go back to. Well, that's where the oil plant is. The oil spill happened up here, and everyone spends their time down the river with, 100th order effects, trying to like scoop it out with like a sifting pan, that trying to scoop the oil out of the river, when all they have to do is go up, fix the spill at the top of the river, and they'd clean all this up. But we don't want to do that. For some reason, we like six-pack abs. We like easy things. We don't like accountability and responsibility. So here we are. We got to implement a draft. And by doing that, though, they're going to pick from those that are self-selecting, saying, I'm here. Just like those in Executive Order 6102 in 1933, when they said, oh, I've got the gold here, I'll give it back. Gold buyback program, here you are, government. Here to do my duty. And gun buyback programs, anything of this nature, Bitcoin buyback programs, any of these things you might see in the future or have seen in the past, where you're self-selecting. Oh, hey, here I am. Come get me. I'm a good little boy and girl. That's where they're going to draft you from. So that should be, you read in between the lines there of how you should or shouldn't act going forward. But that's the world we're entering. And we're going to see a lot more chaos going forward with the centralized systems, the legacy systems run by people that are 60 and 70 and up, trying to fight the younger generations and get them to do things that are more and more ridiculous because they're losing their power and their control. Period. That's it. All the chaos you see going forward, 90 to 95% of all the chaos you see going forward in the next 10 years will be perpetrated directly by the 1%, by the people at the top, causing chaos, division, hate, polarization. That's it. Period. Most people don't want to hate each other. Most people don't want to fight each other. Most people don't want to be mad at other people. That's not how humans are built. All of it is generally driven from the top. It's driven by people who want to create chaos, which instills fear in people, so that way they can pass things, rules, legislation, whatever it may be, laws, so they can take more freedoms from people in the name of security. That's it. That's it. And as we know from our founding fathers, those who wish to trade their security, their freedom, trade their freedom for a little bit of security, perceived security, will have none and deserve neither. It's as simple as that. So draft, folks. Draft here. Check out Ron Paul's channel. Incredible channel. 315,000 subscribers. The guy is an absolute American treasure, American hero. I think he's into his 80s. His son still standing for liberty today. I mean, what a family. What an unbelievable family. Standing for freedom and liberty. Beautiful stuff. Appreciate you. Thank you for coming to my TED Talk. Please share us out, because the algorithm hates truth. Trust but verify. Question everything in boldness. And this is not financial advice. It's freedom advice. I look forward to seeing you on the next one. And go check out the interview I just did. I just had Opti on the channel here. Optimus Fields a month or so ago. Incredible rip he did. And I just did an hour and 10-minute one on the Simply Bitcoin channel. So go check that out. I will link to it here as well. Appreciate you. See you on the next one.